Welcome back again to Overcomers Connect with AB and Beck. In our last episode, we talked about pathological altruism. So today, I am going to add another video whereby we're going to look into ways, okay? Ways to avoid pathological altruism, okay? So we'll go straight to the point. So I'm going to list like 10 different ways we can avoid it or cope with it if you are that person going through it, okay? So one, you need to name it publicly and internally. You need to name it because what remains unnamed remains normalized. Pathological altruism services because suffering is praised. Okay? So you need to practice to say it loud. You need to tell yourself, this is harming me. And replace I have to with I am choosing to. Stop calling exploitation culture or family duty because it is not. Number two, separate care from compliance. So separate care from compliance. This is important because helping becomes pathological when it is forced by fear or guilt. Okay? So ask yourself again, am I giving from abundance? Am I helping from the abundance of my heart and from the things I have, or from obligation? And then you ask yourself, would I still give if guilt was removed? I know I don't have. Will I still give even when I don't have, if I don't feel guilty? You have to ask yourself that question. And remember, support that requires self-destruction is not care, it is coercion. Okay, people? Then number three, install financial boundaries first. Install financial boundaries. Okay? Because money is the primary extraction tool. Never send money that compromises your rent. Never send money that compromises your food. Whereby you don't have food, you are sending money and you go hungry. Or you start managing and eating one food for 1 month just to make other people eat. Don't compromise your health care or your savings just to make people happy. Never explain your full finances to people who do not share your responsibility. Do not rescue adults from consequences they repeatedly choose. People choose problem, people fall into problem, they don't mind their business, and later they start calling you for help, making you have sleepless nights, as if your own problem is not enough. Okay? Don't compromise it. Do not rescue adults from consequences they repeatedly choose. Please. You are not an international welfare system. You are not. You are a human being. Number four, reclaim rest as resistance. So you see your rest? Resist it and reclaim it because you deserve to rest. And because burnout keeps people controllable. Okay? Pathological altruism trains you to feel guilty when you are resting. Okay? So please, people, schedule rest like a protest. So you see, when you want to protest because you are not happy about something, you need to schedule your sleep. You need to schedule your rest as if you are protesting. You are protesting because you deserve it as a human being. Okay? Treat exhaustion as a warning, not a badge of honor. When your body is tired, give it some rest. Regardless of what is happening, regardless of who is saying you have to come and rescue them. Treat exhaustion as a warning before you break down. Because I've seen a lot of people just waste because of family problem. And then remember that tired people cannot build movements. So make your rest political and resist. And number 5, set boundaries without justifying it. It is your body. It is your life. Set boundaries, and you don't have to justify why those boundaries are set. Okay? Over-explain. You don't have to go over-explaining your situation. You don't have to do that. If you go over-explaining your situation, it is a trauma response. Okay? Because you are traumatized. You know you don't have money. You are trying to justify. People are wanting your help. You are saying, I don't have money. Even yesterday, I've not eaten till now. It's been 2 days. I've not been able to go for groceries. You don't have to justify you not giving anybody money or support. Okay? You don't have to explain your financial capabilities to anyone. Because you don't owe anybody any explanation to why you cannot send them money. Okay? You are in your right to do so. Avoid the long stories behind it. Or you want to give them proof of your suffering. Somebody is saying they need your help, they need this, something, there's something happening, emergency. And then you start giving them proof of your own suffering here, thinking that will help. Or you're trying to give them evidence of your struggle. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anyways. They will still think you are selfish. You have that money, you just don't want to help. Why are you in Canada? Why are you in Germany? Why are you in Belgium? Or why are you in England? Where are you in the diaspora if you cannot meet up to send that money? So you don't owe anybody any explanation about your own suffering or trying to give them proof or evidence of your own circumstances or situation here just to make them feel better. No. Like I said, nobody will believe you. And you'll still be judged. Okay? So you use simple language. And simple language is power. You use words like this, for example. I can't do that right now. Oh, that doesn't work with me. Or that does not work for me. I've already contributed. So I can't do it for now. Okay? No apology and no negotiation, because you don't owe anybody anything. So number 6 way to be able to cope with pathological altruism is expect backlash, and then you still do it anyways. Okay? You know why? Because systems resist change. So when you try to say, no, I've had enough of this. Now I want to concentrate on my own self and my immediate family over here. I need rest. I need to save too. I'm the one working this morning. I don't have any savings. I can't even wear the clothes I want. I can't even eat the food I like to eat because of family responsibilities. When you decide to put a stop to it, there's going to be resistance. Because systems always resist change. People are not going to be comfortable with it. You are going to be called names like selfish, ungrateful. Oh, this person has changed for worse, for bad. Oh, this person has been westernized and all that. But remember, those benefiting from your overgiving will always protect your boundaries. Okay? They will. Backlash is not evidence of wrongdoing. It is evidence of destruction to regaining self-power. Okay? I will come again. Remember, backlash is not evidence of wrongdoing. It is evidence of disruption to regaining your self-power. Okay? So number 7, build reciprocal community. Okay? Because pathological altruism strives in isolation, you have to build healthy relationship like mutual care, shared responsibility, emotional and financial reciprocity. Okay? Because people, if support only flows one way, it is not community, it is extraction. So you need to build, a reciprocal kind of relationship where either they are supporting you emotionally or financially. When I don't have, you give. When I have, I give. When you need, I give. When I need, you are there for me. So it has to be reciprocal. Support, if support flows only one way, it is not community anymore. It is extraction. Okay? So number 8, how to avoid pathological altruism. People pleaser. Okay? Grieve the fantasy. Okay? You have to grieve that fantasy. Remember, healing requires mourning. You have to mourn what you have before to be able to move forward towards healing. So you need to grieve the fantasy of giving. You may need to grieve the fantasy of being appreciated. Okay? The hope that sacrifice will be enough to make people like you. You have to grieve the role you were assigned, because you are leaving all this behind. You are becoming a new person and standing in your self-power for yourself. Okay? And because grieving will free you from repetition, from going back and repeating all those behavior you are trying to stop. That people pleaser behavior. If I don't give them, my mind will not rest. I will not be able to sleep. So you can even go out stealing to help people, whereas you don't have. You are broke, then you go to borrow just to please others. You need to grieve those behavior, okay, so you can heal and become a new person who is able to stand on their feet and say, yes, I can help you because I have. No, I cannot help you today, and you don't have to give any explanation to justify why you cannot help them or to give a proof to your own suffering. Okay? So number 9, you need to rewrite your identity. Okay? You see, people, pathological altruism is identity based. Because it is identity based, you need to replace it. Okay? So replace I exist, that notion, that belief that you have, that you exist to help people. You need to replace it, I exist to help, with I exist to live, and I choose when to help. Okay? I exist to live, and I choose when to help. Because your humanity is not conditional. Okay? You need to stand on your feet and do you sometimes. Because if you break down, nobody's coming. You have to face it yourself. Self-love is not selfishness. Self-care is not selfishness. Okay? So number 10, you need to turn the help into strategy and not self-erasure. Okay? So ask yourself, is this help creating dependency or empowerment? This help that I'm rendering, is it creating dependency or is it empowering me? Is this a one-time support or a permanent drain? Am I just supporting this person or these people once? Or it's going to turn into a permanent request whereby I will be drained? You need to ask yourself. And then you also have to ask, does this align with my values and my capacity or my capabilities? You know, looking at what you have as a person. Okay? And then, am I able to add this support to my own responsibility here? All these remittances, the money I'm sending. Bring $50 here, bring $200 here, bring $100 here, bring the other one there, bring 1,000 here. Can I continue fueling this for people? Do I have the means to do this? With all the responsibilities I have to shoulder here, am I able to do this continuously? You need to ask yourself that question. People. Helping should expand your life and not shrink it. Okay? Helping people should be able to expand your life, not to shrink it and make you small or make you stagnant. If your kindness is killing you, it is no longer kindness, it is conditioning. Okay, people? It is good to help. It is good to be kind, but not you forgetting yourself, okay? Or being kind at the expense of your own happiness. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot be able to, you can't feed somebody when you are hungry. Everything we are trying to say here is always consider your own life, your own happiness. Because if you break down, nobody will come for you. The same people you are breaking down for, you are trying to die for, then we move on. So think of yourself while you help. Think of yourself while you take and shoulder responsibilities that you know will break your neck or shrink your head. So people, till I see you again, take good care of yourself. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Okay? Stay strong and stay free. Bye.